Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Glad to have you guys here. XRP, wow, what a crazy day today. It got right to our 4-hour supply and demand resistance line and rejected. We were looking for a breakout. Unfortunately, the end of day was not so exciting. In fact, all the cryptos, all of the stocks, and all of the indices in the markets just had an absolute dump there for the last about 60 minutes. It was really crazy to see. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the charts. We're going to take a look at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Shiba Inu in this video. We are also going to be jumping into the crypto ecosystem as a whole and check out all the news, what's trending, what's going on out there for finance world. And if you're new here, my name is Ryan Huggins. I'm a crypto and real estate investor here in Southern California. And my job is to help be your crypto shortcut. And if you're like most people, you probably don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day in the charts and hours a day reading articles, but that's what I do. And then I bring that information to you in a condensed form here in this video. So if you're looking for a crypto shortcut, smash that subscribe button. Let's get going.
If you're ready to earn an extra $200 to $3,000 per day in passive income, just like the Run Guys do every single day, then like this video, subscribe to the channel, then click the link in the description of this video to learn the Run Guys' #1 way to start earning passive income online with crypto today.
All right, so here we are on the XRP charts, and yesterday, where the candle is highlighted right here, is where we recorded our video and we talked about, we did have some lower time frame bullish bias that it was going to look like we had some big time moves possible on those lower time frames, the 15-minute, the 1 hour, and the 4-hour time frames. And sure enough, it got up to just about the tippy top of our 4-hour supply and demand zone here, that 48,411. Now, if you guys remember, we did also talk about how we needed to break out of this smaller 1-hour supply and demand zone. And we did finally make that break, which was really nice. In fact, that happened basically as soon as my video went live. We were talking here on the video went live, boom, we finally broke through there. And when we jump to the Japanese candlesticks, you'll see, let me go ahead and clear this out of the way as well and make this larger. So we can see right here, yesterday we made the video here. It went live, and then boom, we exploded out, came back down, retested the zone, and unfortunately, it fell back through, challenged back out, and it just cannot keep this little zone right here as a support. So unfortunately, it did fail. And like I said, the end of today, if you were watching the markets, this was basically the last hour of the day, and it was a spectacular hour on all of the different instruments. I mean, I was also watching, as I've mentioned, I do some trading on the side outside of cryptos in the actual index markets. US 30 had a crazy drop here at the very last candle, besides the next half-hour candle. That was pretty interesting to see. We also had the NASDAQ drop extremely hard right there. So it was just wild to see that. And then at the same exact time, you flip over and you look at Ethereum, had a massive drop. You take a look at Bitcoin, it also had a pretty solid drop as well in that time frame. And then you look at the Dixie, which we're always tracking. The Dixie's just been, steadily climbing again, and it's kind of been the little like the ghost in the room, and no one's paying attention to it because it's going up nice and slow. But if you remember, as the Dixie goes, the dollar Dixie. All right. So if you're confused, the dollar, as the dollar goes, cryptos and stocks go the opposite. So as we see here, let's look at the daily counter here, because there was a little bit of a lag, right? So today we had this drop, got to our supply and demand zone right up in that spot. So if we go to Heikin-Ashi candles, we take a look at this candle right here on the daily time frame, it got right to that candle. And before it could get all the way in there, boom, started its way back up. And that was today's candle. Today's candle was an extreme rally to the upside. And that is why you saw markets dropping to the downside. Now, what you'll notice, though, is that it has now gotten to the 50 exponential moving average. So we'll see if it rejects there again when it opens back up tomorrow, or if this continues to pump through. As I've been telling you guys personally, I think that the dollar is going to make one last massive run to the upside. We're going to get the final bottom for Bitcoin, Ethereum, the stock market, all of that coming here at the end of October, which we're pretty much there already. It's been delayed a little bit longer than I thought it would. So, maybe it goes all the way into or till November as well. So we'll have to keep a very close eye on that. But I just wanted to show you the dollar index. If you want to see what's about to happen in the crypto market, follow the dollar index, because as you'll see here, 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row, basically, of down on the dollar, the Dixie. And if you look at Bitcoin, 1, 2, 3, 4 days up. Now today, obviously a down day. And if you also take a look at Ethereum, 1, 2, 3, 4 days up. Now, obviously you had the 2 little micro days before the pump, but just giving you that information. But yes, jumping back to XRP, let's chart this out. Then we'll go to Bitcoin, Ethereum, get a little more detailed. So first and foremost, and then we'll jump into the news. So if you're here for the news, feel free to fast forward through the charting. You can get to the end and watch the news section there. We got some really cool articles we're covering today on a lot of different stuff in the finance news. All right, so now that we have these zones marked out, what I want to do is I want to show you something here on the if we go to the Heikin-Ashi candles, okay? And we do know that as far as our daily Heikin-Ashi candles, this was the interference candle before the finish of that down move. So if we were to highlight this candle here, you can see that today's candle finally made that wick up in there. And that's what we talked about yesterday too. Is it going to get up in there? Now, it dove pretty deep into there actually today. It didn't just immediately get to the 0.47854 that we talked about. It actually went a little deeper in there before making its rejection. In fact, it nearly got to the wick of this candle here. It did get to the body and then a little bit higher than the body of that massive down candle that started the valley here. So going back to Heikin-Ashi's, we know that this was the key zone here. So if we clear out all of our, let's go ahead and clear all of the drawings off the table. We know that this is our daily mark. And again, remember, we always make our dailies yellow for right now. Okay, so that's that. And then we have our bottom mark, which would be this guy right here. And that one's yellow as well. Now, what you'll do from there is switch back to Japanese candles. And you'll notice it's been trading in the zone. We did have that 1 day dip and then the day that climbed back out of it a couple of days ago, but it's trying to stay right in this zone. It's also where the moving averages are sitting right now too. But it went up to the top, rejected, went down to the bottom, rejected. It's just staying in here. So it's got this indecision going on which way does XRP want to go. And we talked about breaking that 1 hour zone and then making the run out. So where do we get the 1 hour zone from? Well, we just go back to Heikin-Ashi candles. We're going to take the dailies off. We drop to the 1 hour, and then we make the candles taller to make it a little bit easier to see. So now we have a clear chart on the hourly, and we can figure out where we want to be. So right now, this is our 15-hour candle. We go back to yesterday, which was about here, and we were looking at, okay, where's the time zone that is above this zone that needs to break? Well, we did go ahead and take this line, and we saw that this right here was a breakout zone as well. So we needed to break that, claim that as a support. Above that zone, though, where could price go to really make a impact in a move? And it was this candle here. On the 1 hour, we used blue. So we'll use that right there. And you can see price ran right into our 1 hour box, rejected off of there. And then the next couple of candles that attempted to do it also immediately rejected. So now we look, okay, well, if that was our upside candle and it did make the break to the breakout zone here, what about the downside? Well, our downside candle would put us in this zone right here. So that's our last blue candle before the up move in that zone. That's our low. That's that 44,727 zone. And then there's a zone above it, obviously, which would be this blue candle right here. And that's where price is currently sitting right now. So it's sitting inside of a relatively strong support zone. If it breaks that zone, then we could see a continued drop to here. And then you maybe think, well, where could it go from there? Well, then what you do is you look for the next lower spot. And so if this zone is probably going to act as a support level when it gets here, and if it keeps on meandering down and works its way through, well, then it will need to break below this candle here, which gives us that 44,312 value. Okay, so 44,312. And then that also puts us Where does that put us? The last supply and demand zone here. Boom. And look exactly where this breakout candle line is. The breakout candle line right there is also the support level of this supply and demand box. So these are on a very small time scale, the 1 hour time zone. And so this is obviously for someone who is doing like day trading. By the way, I'm not a financial advisor. I am not giving financial advice. Do not buy or sell anything because we talk about it on this channel. This is just me showing you tools, financial entertainment, financial education, and this is my personal opinion. So right now with price getting here, it's going to continue staying in this range between 0.47818 and 0.46339. That's the zone it'll trade in until it makes its decision to break one way or the other. So we'll have to break above this resistance line now. It was going to be a support. It's definitely a very strong resistance line, as we can see here. If it holds support here at this 46-cent level, then great, we can make that move back up into the 47-cent zone. If for some reason price continues to drop, we will see it coming back down into this zone, this 44 cents. Ultimately, a breakout could potentially happen if we get below this 0.44335. Okay, so that's smaller time frames. That's in the daily, that's in the hour. So that'd be trading within the day. But what about like the weekly trades and the monthly trades, the more longer term situation? So we'll go ahead and flip to the daily charts here now. And I hope you guys got these jotted down. We're going to go ahead and clear all of that out. And we're going to look at, okay, what can happen here for the dailies? Well, the cool thing is we have a daily chart, daily candle box right here, all the way back up at 50 cents. So you see on the way down, it tried to battle there, lost it again, came on down. So 50 cents is where we want to get back to. But the ultimate breakout zone that we've really been waiting for to happen is to get back above this 5582. So basically 56 cents, because after we break 56 cents, we then start our nice climb. Because as you can see, the drop was a drop from here to here to here, right? And those are actually in 10-cent increments, essentially. So right here, we have this box, which gives us that 55-cent bottom, 58 cent, but it gets all the way up to that 65 cents. So the red line is our 55 we need to break, and then we climb all the way up to 65, reclaim that. Our next zone right here is the 75-cent zone. Let me rebox that for us. This candle right here, 75-cent zone. The bottom of that 75, the top of that 78 cents. Then we have this candle right here, which gives us the 85-cent zone. So it's going to climb in 10-cent increments, but what we need to do is claim that as our new support level here of 56 cents. So right now, trading sideways, it is potentially making a bullish flag pattern, but now that the length of the pole, the flag is longer, kind of invalidates that now, unfortunately. So now this is just an accumulation section that's trading in between the zones that we've been talking about. So again, the top of that zone right there, and then the bottom of that zone is right there. So 41 cents is the bottom, 55 cents is the top. That's the range for extreme tops and bottoms of the range. If it breaks down below here, we could continue our way down to our next low level here, which is going to get us to that 34-cent level we've been talking about. But ultimately, there is a possibility that we do get a brand new low. So right now, the June low, the low that came in during the June bottom is 28 cents. And when we turn on our RSI, and we currently use the TDI, which is the Traders Dynamic Index. So RSI with a couple of extra things plugged into it. You can see the green background typically indicates a bullish scenario is playing out. And sure enough, when it turned green here, which means the price got above, or the RSI got above the market baseline, we went bullish. And sure enough, we did for quite some time. Ran into some rejection, started coming down. Now we are what we would consider in a bearish scenario. And we are also potentially getting back below the 50 of the RSI, which is double bearish scenario. Now, me personally, I think this is a good thing for XRP because of what could potentially happen. And that is the fact that we are waiting for a bullish divergence on the weekly charts here. So you can see the RSI is climbing. In fact, it went way high real fast right here. It's going to come back down. Where it comes back down to, we don't know yet, but that's okay. But what happens is price very well could drop faster. So if price comes down faster, we'll use highlighter. If price comes down faster than the RSI and creates a new lower low. So that would be, this would be the low that we have right now. If we get a new lower low in price and our RSI does not drop below this trend line, then we would have another higher low of the RSI. That would give us a bullish divergence on a weekly chart, which historically has been epic for movement to the upside. So that's what we're hoping and waiting for. Obviously, it sucks to think about XRP crashing to a lower price again, but it's actually long-term bullish for us for that to happen. So we'll take a look at that. Let me take a look over here on my other chart system I have. Let's look at the daily charts for XRP. The daily charts on this is bullish right now. So that's positive. Now it could flip. Weekly charts are looking bearish. So weekly's bearish. The daily is starting to flip. The 4 hour is about, the 4 hour says we're about to have a pretty extreme drop. And that also goes back to another scenario. I'm going to clear all of this off now. I hope you guys got that written down. We're going to jump back to Japanese candlesticks. We're going to jump to our exponential moving average. Okay, and that brings me back to what we were talking about the other day, which was here on the 4 hour charts for XRP. It is looking a little bearish. And the reason being is price, which the 50 exponential moving average, price has been coming down over time. The 50 exponential moving average is coming down, and it has crossed the bearish cross on the 1100 exponential moving average. Now, it did just now swoop back up, but like I said, whatever happened in the markets today, everything crashed at the end of day, including XRP, had a very strong pull down in that last 4 hour candle. And now, however, look, it just reached that 1100 exponential moving average, breached it, came back and battled back though. We have an hour and 27 minutes, but what we do not want to see happen is this red exponential moving average of 50 cross back down below, because that becomes very, very bearish, and especially on this very large of a time frame. When we take a look here at the 5-minute scale, the 50 exponential is also moving its way down to the potential below that 1100. Look what happened last time when it crossed. It was already on its way to a nice push. Then it crossed here, very bullish scenario, and then the bullish play continued to play out. So this is on its way to make that cross that could potentially happen within the next 24 hours. Let's hope XRP battles back hard and makes its run up. Or for those of you guys that are understanding what could happen on this weekly chart and the potential of the bearish divergence happening or the bullish divergence happening on the weekly chart and the exponential growth that we would have, that I'm actually okay if price comes down on XRP. One very interesting thing here that is a possibility, we look at the fair market gaps. We have a fair market value right here at 40 cents. Now I was listening to somebody, I don't remember where it was today, but they were talking about how it's potential that XRP comes back down to 9 cents. And I personally didn't think that that was possible. I looked at my charts. I saw this big giant weekly fair value gap here. I was like, holy moly, that would be absolutely bonkers if it came back to 9 cents. And why would it come to 9 cents? I don't know, but it was just something that I took a look at when I heard that. And if we look at our 2-day our 2-day charts here, instead of single day charts, price came up and it's been supported by that 1100 exponential. But look at this, that's about to cross up. So there's a lot of conflicting signals of what's going on with XRP at the moment. This could be a massive, massive bullish move to the upside. I'm talking massive. We just talked about that on the lower time frames, how much it explodes. It does well. On the single day, it came up and it bounced off of that 1100 exponential moving average. When we look at the 3-day, the 1100 exponential moving average all the way down here at 30 cents. So because of all that conflicting information, I like to see what's happening right now in this time frame. And what I'm looking at is I'm looking for this 4 hours cross to see if it happens. If it does, okay. Let's see if we can go snatch up this 4 hour fair value gap right here at 45 cents and then rally back up. If it doesn't and it continues to fail, we likely could be coming back into that 41 cent fair value gap here. And then we could continue our way down to the 36 fair value gap and so on and so forth. All right, let's take a look now at Ethereum. So Ethereum has one of the most spectacular runs that I've ever seen out of Ethereum. It was pretty exciting to see. So if we look here on the daily charts, it had from down at the bottom, it went basically, it even came all the way down and wicked at the bottom here at 1255 and ran itself all the way up to 1596. Absolutely crazy epic. What you'll see here is today, it came and filled the remainder of this fair value gap on this daily candle. There is also still a fair value gap right here on this one. So again, like I always say, price does not like to leave fair value gaps open. So there's one here that's from 1456 all the way down to 1369. And then there's even a little tiny baby one down here at 1322. Below that, we would have to start getting back into those June lows and seeing, you know, the 1100 zone, and then maybe even potentially all the way down here, $840 for filling the fair value gaps down there. So let's take a look at what's going on with with Ethereum right now. So we'll do the Heikinashi candles, and what you'll notice is right here was the supply and demand zone to the upside. That one was all the way up at 1693. So it got really close, 1600. It was $100 off of getting up to there. The top line of that is currently sitting at 1783. And then if you guys remember, when I did look at this yesterday on the 3 hour time zone, it did hit off right here, the 1100 exponential moving average. And that is when it started to turn down. So the 3 hour exponential moving average 1100 was the stopping point. And then when you look at Bitcoin, which is really crazy, it's the 2 hour. Yesterday, it literally went to the 2 hour and started coming back down. So the 1100 exponential moving average is quite an amazing potential, either resistance or support, depending on which level it's at. So keep an eye on that when you're out there trading. And now that we are back to our daily zone, let's go ahead and see the bottom side. So we do know that this would be the last up candle before the down move. So we need the last down candle before the up move. That gives us our support, which is currently sitting right here. Sorry, that's Bitcoin. We'll get back to that. Sorry about that. So on Ethereum, it's this candle right here. So we have 1307 is the potential support level for Ethereum. And then with this one, it does have a new current low bottom set in right here at the 1189 zone. And then it has its ultimate bottom down here at the 873 mark, right? So that was that low candle there. Now, what's interesting, by the way, about this potential was 880, all right? What's interesting about that, when you go back in history on the weeklies, if it does come and get a new weekly low here, so we have this price moving up, and then we had the price come down. This is a higher low. And this price was on its way to potentially be a new higher high. Unfortunately, it looks like the rally has stalled, and we may see the continued drop. And that would give us the opportunity to get a new lower low. And if we think about that, last time that happened, the bullish divergence on Ethereum was from here to here. There's a bullish divergence. Look what happened after the bullish divergence on the weekly turned on. Okay, so am I upset if price comes back down below $880 for a quick little dip down below that, 850 even, whatever, for another explosive rally? I mean, let's look at, so what was this rally? We've covered it before, but from here to here, that was a 4,236% rally. Is it going to be that much of a rally this time? You know what? Who knows? You know, I remember before the drop, people were talking about, so let's say that it does come to this level here, boom, a new low. And let's say it gets to that $10,000 mark we're talking about. That is a 1,000% gain. I'm okay with that. I could turn $1,000 into $10,000 with 1,000% gain. So we'll see what happens when it gets down there. Like, how many ETH are you buying if it hits $880 again? Let me know in the comments. But anyway, that's major future long distance out there. But right now, what are we focused on? Daily time frames. We're right here on this box. This 1693 is a potential resistance to the upside. Down here at the bottom, 1307 is a potential support level. That's on the daily. Still a rather large time frame there for sure. And then another thing we can keep in mind, this was the breakout candle right here, this $1,400. For price to have to come even into the zone, when it gets back to 1,400, it is going to be an all hands on deck fight by the bulls to battle that back up. So we'll see what happens when it gets to that type of range. Let's look at a smaller time frame here. Let's look at our 4-hour supply and demand zones now. So let's go ahead and go here, clear everything off. So our 4-hour supply and demand zone is this box here, this white candle before the blue down move. That would be our current top, and that's exactly where resistance ran into us, right? So that's where price ran into resistance on Ethereum. And the next level of support that we would catch is this candle right here before the takeoff, which was 1350. 1350. Now, this is obviously on a larger time frame like we just talked about. So these are 4-hour boxes here. So price could very likely rally back up to this 1570 tomorrow, retest that again, even though it's tested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. If that comes back down, we'll see a potential drop there. Now, the interesting thing on my other like indicator over here on my PC indicator, it doesn't work on MacBooks, unfortunately, but this one here shows bullish like everything. So the 30-minute is still bullish. If that continues to drop, though, that switches. But when you get to the 1 hour, it's very bullish. When you're at the 4-hour, it's very bullish. When you're at the daily, now the daily actually shows, this is crazy. Check this out. If price on the daily drops below the 50 exponential moving average, so if price runs from where it's at, which is super high, but to about, we'll say here, which is that 14, where, you know what it is? It's that 14,000, at 1,400 mark. It's what it's going to be. So by the time price gets down to here, it's going to be about that $1,400 level. That's crazy. If price gets to that level, does not bounce. If it gets down to 1,400, does not bounce, there is a potential for a crazy drop. So right now, my lower time frames, hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, very bullish for Ethereum if the rally kicks back in. If we see continued drops and we get down to this 1,400 level and price breaks below there, we could see a pretty gnarly drop. And taking out these lows is actually a possible situation. But I mean, we're still at 1522. It's $120 away. Is it even going to get that far? Let's look at the 1 hour and let's look at supply and demands and see what we got here. So right now, our supply and demand zone that it's in is this one, and it's still acting as a very strong support. So it hasn't even broken that support yet. So still looking very strong there. Like I said, on the 1 hour, we're still looking pretty bullish. When we go to the next level down, it's here. That's that 1485 zone. The next level down from there is here, and that's that 1457. So there is a lot of support on the way down. And we're almost to the, we're almost bottomed out on the RSI into what we would be considered oversold territory. So in reality, there is still a lot of strength in this short time frame for Ethereum. But if we continue to domino effect, take out these levels and moving way down, then it is very likely that we may see a severe drop. Also, if price gets to here, check this out. On the 1 hour chart, this moving average will probably be at that 1400 level as well. So that would act as a strong support. We've seen what happens when it gets to a level that it rejects off of. Well, it can also act as a support. So look, it rejected off of it here on the 1 hour level. When it gets to here, it very likely could act as a support. But that's why you come back every single day, because we give constant updates on all of these tokens. So make sure you're here, subscribe. So let's look at Bitcoin now. What's going on with Bitcoin? Since we're here on the 1 hour, we'll just chop it up as it is. Right now, it's in a support zone, like literally right now. If it breaks this zone to the downside, to 20,136, then it would also have another fast support. There's a lot of heavy support right here for Bitcoin. Between the level that it's at right now, 20,300 and 20,000. If it breaks 20,000, the psychological barrier, there is a likelihood of it continuing to make a steeper drop. And the daily time frame and this 1 hour time frame line up exactly where we're at, which is this candle right here, 19,302. 19,302. But like I said, we're also here on the 1 hour, very much towards the bottom of this zone here for oversold. We could likely see a rally back on that smaller time frame. When we look here on the daily, I mean, the daily, I thought this thing was going to run too, because it broke this level here with a closed bodied candle. The only problem is today's body did not confirm that break of structure, right? So it broke the structure, but this next candle has to confirm the break of structure. And so far, and it could, we have an hour left. Price could rally all the way up here. Then this level, this 20,007 or 20,479 becomes a support level. And then boom, we keep on rallying up. So let's take a look over here on my charts and see what Bitcoin tells us on the indicator. So low time frames, bearish. All the way up through the 15-minute, bearish. The 30-minute is still pretty bullish. When does the 30-minute end though? Because this could be flipping 10 minutes. Yeah. Probably gonna flip there. 1 hour. 1 hour looks like it's gonna flip also. 4 hour. 4 hours really bullish. So that's interesting. But on the 4 hour, for it to become a really hardcore re-rally, like a double pump, it would come down below this 50 exponential moving average of 19,841. So maybe price comes down, 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 down over the next couple of 4 hour candles, tests off of this zone right here, this 19,701, and makes its new move to the upside. Now, will that indicator stay bullish if it does continue dropping, considering all the other ones? We don't know. We'll have to watch that. The daily indicator is bearish. The weekly indicator is also bearish as of right now. So that's the story for Bitcoin. We have an upside resistance level of 21,173. We're currently sitting at some really, really strong support levels that needs to break if it's going to drop more. It needs to break $20,000, the psychological level. If it comes back down to 19,706, look what will probably happen. By this time, price could very likely be back, or RSI could very likely be back at the bottom of the volatility band, or even potentially all the way at the oversold territory on the 4 hour candles, and then give us a rally to the upside. So we'll watch that. We'll keep monitoring that. When we take a look at the daily, we got so far outside of the volatility band, it needs to correct itself. It does not need to come all the way back down to the bottom. It could just come bounce off the market baseline, which everything. So we're still looking bullish. So there's a lot of work. If the bears are trying to really drop this, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. On the weekly charts, looking here, we just flipped bullish. We just flipped above the market baseline. So, however, it did just flip, so it could also turn. We're in a really interesting point in time for watching these things. So that's why, for me personally, my long-term HODL bag, I'm on my hands right now, waiting, just collecting capital, ready to drop it when I'm ready to make it move. But at the same time, I do have a day trading bag that I have fun with, trading here and there, trying to up those capitals over there too.
If you're ready to earn an extra $200 to $3,000 per day in passive income, just like the Run Guys do every single day, then like this video, subscribe to the channel, then click the link in the description of this video to learn the Run Guys' #1 way to start earning passive income online with crypto today.
Let's take a look at the news. What's going on right now? Payments giant Visa files trademark application for crypto platform, wallet, and NFTs. One of the biggest payment networks in the entire world is filing a trademark application for a crypto exchange platform as well as other crypto-related products. According to the new documents, payments giant Visa is filing trademark applications to create a digital asset exchange, a crypto wallet, non-fungible tokens, and virtual environments where users can interact. So they're building it all: a metaverse, an exchange, NFT marketplace. Last month, it was announced that Visa would be collaborating with crypto exchange platform FTX to offer crypto debit cards to customers in over 40 nations with a focus on Europe, Latin America, and Asia. As stated by Sam Bankman-Fried, the card allows users to make use of their FTX crypto balances 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, securely and with no administrative or processing fees. So what have we been talking about? We've been talking about institutional buyers. The institutions are getting involved. And this is a big, big deal. This is very, I mean, it's a double-edged sword, right? It's catch-22. In order for these big, big, giant companies to get in, well, it becomes more centralized, unfortunately. But when they do get in, there's more money that adds to the ecosystem, which then, if you're an early adopter, you end up really, really well off. And yesterday we talked about this, but wow, today more information came out about the Meta sell-off. This is nuts. So we talked about after hours yesterday that they came out with earnings and it wasn't very great report for them and stock had started to tumble. Well, it was really bad. Meta sell-off erases quarter of company's value after Metaverse loses top $9 billion. After Meta reports Metaverse losses of $9.4 billion for the year, investors expressed their displeasure, shares tank. CEO Mark Zuckerberg has tried to assure the market his company's strategy is sound. And if you are aware, there's been a lot of people that have been talking about how his metaverse is not the metaverse they want to use because of all of the track record of Facebook and the data harvesting and things of that nature. They're a little bit weary of doing anything on their platform that gives away too much information, let alone basically tapping into your brain and you utilizing that with their goggles and AI and VR. Facebook owner Meta's shares sank by 25% among a wide sell-off that suggests investors are none too pleased with CEO Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse strategy. The shares drop brought Meta's total market cap below $265 billion. It exceeds $1 trillion last year. So if you kind of do the math on that there, they've lost basically $750 billion in 1 year of value. Meta recently debuted its new $1,499 virtual reality headset. The company hopes corporations will be interested in buying for employees in lieu of computers. Meta has formed partnerships with Microsoft, Accenture, and Zoom. Twitter will allow users to buy and sell NFTs through tweets. Twitter will let users display NFT marketplace listings from certain platforms, including a button to let them buy and sell collectibles. The integration, called NFT Tweet Tiles, displays the artwork of an NFT in a dedicated panel within a tweet and includes a button to let users click through a marketplace listing. The integration, which is still in testing, currently works with marketplaces from 4 specific partners: Solana-centric marketplace Magic Eden, multi-platform NFT marketplace protocol Rarible, Flow blockchain creator Dapper Labs, and sports-centric platform Jump Trade. And Twitter dev tweeted out, now testing NFT tweet tiles. Some links to NFTs on Rarible, Magic Eden, Dapper Labs, and Jump Trade NFT will now show you a larger picture of the NFT alongside details like the tile and creator. One more step in our journey to let developers impact the tweet experience. And here you can see what it would look like. This one's called Rocket to the Moon, created by Twitter. The Twitter representative added that the feature is currently being tested with select Twitter users across iOS and web, and that those users will see the NFT tweet tile integration if they're in the test group. A Twitter Blue premium subscription is not required to use this feature. Ripple CEO makes fun of Coinbase's CEO's speech. Here's what happened. So recently, Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, said in an interview with well-known crypto influencer Amply Pomp that he would like more cooperation between projects and that he does not like tribalism in the crypto sphere because it prevents economic freedom from increasing. And Brad Garlinghouse tweeted out, anti-tribalism club. And that was based upon the tweet that was sent out by Coinbase in correspondence to the interview. In response to a statement, the Coinbase CEO received a dose of ridicule from Ripple's head, Brad Garlinghouse. According to Garlinghouse, Armstrong is campaigning against tribalism while being a supporter of it. In his outburst, the CEO of Ripple resorted to once popular brand Antisocial Social Club as a reference. Interestingly, following XRP's delisting from Coinbase in 2021, Armstrong spoke out in favor of Ripple in its SEC litigation, despite previously being considered a XRP hater. Nevertheless, it seems that recent news of a looming fight between the SEC and the CFTC over Ethereum status in Armstrong's public statement about the unacceptability of pressure on ETH did get the head of Ripple. What makes this battle particularly spicy is that the fact that Ethereum and XRP communities are in a high-level standoff. Some believe Ethereum was lobbied by former SEC chief William Hinman, which should become clear soon given the recent developments in the case. Others, represented directly by Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin, believe that XRP lacked protection from the regulator's tentacles. Also interesting because XRP, or Ripple, and XRP Ledger have partnered with Ethereum and Ethereum virtual machines. So it's funny because like public facing, they're blah, 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 bickering at each other a little bit, right? But behind the scenes, they know that it's smart to work together. So they just put a deal together. And speaking of working together, how would you guys like to work with us here at the Run Guys community? Well, here's how you can get started with us right away.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want the Run Guys passive income pathway to finally get your money right so you can truly start living your best life, just like the Run Guys do every single day with their almost 300,000 subscribers on YouTube who generate over 1 million viewers per month, then I have great news for you, my friend, because you are one of the lucky few who've gotten a chance to become one of the first ever Run Guys Inner Circle Run Pass holders and mint one of their 1,000 rare NFT crypto tokens that will have a floor price of over 10 Ethereum for the general public, but not for you, my friend. And not only that, all Run Pass holders will get first priority whitelist access to future NFT drops, invites to exclusive live events and mastermind parties around the world, and you will also get private business collaborations directly with the Run Guys. And yes, that is live in person in the most beautiful destinations around the world. So what do you need to do right now? You need to stop whatever you are doing and go fill out the 60-second whitelist application form on runpass.com to find out if you qualify to become one of the exclusive 1,000 Run Pass holders and possibly hold one of the most prestigious and valuable NFT crypto token memberships in the world. With that being said, good luck, my friend. It's time to back up the truck. Stay bullish.